by Ed Walson. Stars Larry Manetti, and it's called Manetti. It's a story of Larry going out in Philadelphia and boxing and beating up on people.
Yes.
And the love of his life, a lovely Nancy Manetti, encourages him to become a great boxer. Don't forget to see Manetti coming to a theater near you soon. Now here's Larry.
This theme is better than any drug, any liquor, any substance in the world.
Why do you say that?
It just wakes me up. I love
fabulous.
it. I've seen this movie a million times, and I want to welcome. How are you, darling?
Hello, Carol. It's Nancy
Fine,
and Larry.
I'm so excited that you're playing the theme that I co-wrote with Bill Conti and Ann Robbins.
Yeah, we
Oh.
love it.
Fly now.
Great job, Carol.
It's one of the most motivating songs ever.
Thank you very much. You know, they did a survey, and actually it is considered one of the most, of our time, the most motivational song, which sort of knocked me for a loop.
No,
but,
it is.
You know, people exercise to it and dream their dreams to it, and luckily I've gone to the bank to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Carol, when Carol was down at the Barbara Sinatra golf tournament thing, and I had the pleasure of meeting her down there, and
Thank
you
you.
were telling the story of how you got the Rocky theme, how it came about, that you were hired to do this. Do you remember that?
Oh, let's say it's sort of tattooed onto my brain.
Well, I really found it very interesting and wonderful.
Well, what happened? I want to hear the story.
Tell us?
Well, there were two parts to the story. Are you talking more about the screening room part or the shower part?
Oh, I want to hear the shower part,
Yeah.
but let's
No,
start at the
about-
beginning and then get into the. Then we'll get into the ease into the shower.
The part about I think it was your father.
Oh, right. Oh, my dad.
Yeah.
My father had been a jockey.
Yeah.
And, of course, I am watching, as you know, I used to sit and watch all the races, my sister and I, with my dad. And, you know, let's see if the horse is going to go, the Triple Crown. You know, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
He won 2 races already. So my dad, I got the script to Rocky, and I went to my dad, and we were really, really poor. And I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I just got... I have the script to do a new film. It's about a boxer. God, what is that? I guess the Russians are coming. I said, it's about a boxer. And he said, well, what was his name? And I said, well, the boxer's name is Rocky. He said, oh, Rocky Marciano, great heavyweight. I went, no, Daddy, not Rocky Graciano. He said, oh, Rocky Graciano, a great middleweight. I went, like I know all these terms now. I said, no, Daddy, it wasn't Marciano and it wasn't Graciano. He said, he was sort of perplexed, and he said, well, who was it? Who is it? And I said, Daddy, it's a boxer name. And I looked at the script, and I went, Rocky Balboa. And he said, never heard of him. Do the film anyway. And for $500 up front and my father's blessings, I did the film.
That's
that's
wonderful.
great.
That's
Yeah.
a great story.
And
Carol.
how does the shower play into this thing? Let's get into that story.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one.
I don't think it's sort of a little outrageous, but
That's what we
after-
like on this show. We like outrageous.
Outrageous, yes.
outrageous. Well, a lot of water in this. Being a little mermaid, Barbie Benton and I we've been honored with Jean-Michel Cousteau saving the reefs, but we'll get back to that. This is the story. So they all came to my house after the screening room, and we're all sitting there. And Bill Conti went to my piano, and he went ba 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 ba, ba, and I thought to myself, what in heaven's name? Now remember, I mean, Larry, you know all about this. You're a star. You know, we had been in a screening room with a rough cut, and if I were to throw a punch at you, nobody would hear it. There was no real music except for one little song.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So I decide, they all leave, and I decide to take a shower. And all of a sudden, I knew what the film was about. I knew what life was about. I knew what music was about, this song. So I called up Bill. This was the day when you had phones that you could take into the shower. And I said, Bill, I know what the song's about. I know what it's all about. And he said, "Where are you, Carol?" And I said, "Well, I'm in the shower."
This is great.
And he said, "Well, are you with somebody?"
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
And a good question. And I said, "Bill, I'm a Scorpio. If I was with somebody, I wouldn't be calling you." And he said to me, "Well, what's the line?" And I went, "Gonna fly now." Because at that moment in time, Rocky could go the distance, he could win, and when he stood on those steps and it went into slow motion and he put his arms up, he could even fly.
Wow.
He could
That's
do
great. You're giving me
anything.
goosebumps
I
with
get
that. That's
chills.
great.
Yeah,
I get
That's
chills.
great, Carol.
And I could feel it. I could see him
I
standing
could see that.
there.
And he could do anything any of us have
Can we-
set our mind to doing.
Can we talk to you when you're taking showers more often? Because it sounds like it's quite
Well-
a great moment for you in the shower, Carol Connors.
Yeah, and I told Bill was getting a big award, and I said, "Bill, I'm going to tell this story, and if it didn't go down exactly like this, you tell me." And he said it went down exactly like that.
Wow.
And when I performed at the, last year I performed for the Wounded Warriors, and I conducted the orchestra to Rocky, the 117 piece at the Kennedy Center.
How exciting.
And I said to Sly, "Can I do it?" And Sly said, "Hey, you go. You go. You do it." So I did it. And I said, I'll never forget this. And when I was standing on stage and looking out at these miraculous men and women, and I said, he could do anything, but look at the courage that you've given us and what you've done for our country. And I swear, not only was I crying on stage, but so was everybody else. It was a very touching moment, and it is an inspirational song.
Absolutely.
It is a great song.
God.
Well, you do a lot of charity work. I think that's fabulous.
I try.
You're a very giving person. It's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Love
So-
that song. You hear that song, it's just you're there. It's a good theme.
The other song that I used to love, well, I still love it.
What's
I
that?
used to. Hey, little cobra.
Oh, yes.
I didn't
and I'm going
realize
to tell you, a cobra is my favorite car.
And
Well, I owned one. I owned 3 of them, actually.
and I
They're
did not know you
fabulous.
wrote that song. That's like the only hot rod song ever written by a woman. Am I right, Carol?
Yeah.
That's right. And it went to number 1.
Number 1, Hey Little, was it the rip chords?
The
that sang-
ripcord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rip
I
chords.
took my cobra down to the track. And I remember when Bruce Wilson, Brian. Oh,
Brian Wilson
Brian
of the Beach
Wilson,
Boys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Beach
Johnson,
Boys.
Brian Wilson. And Brian came up to me after it had gone to number 1, and he said, "We all knew it was written by and he sort of spit the word out, a girl." And I said, "Well, Brian, how did you know that?" He said, because they were real aficionados of cars. He said, "You can't take your car out of gear and let it coast to the line." And I said, "Brian,"
I love that.
I said, "Brian, if you're that far in advance, in front, you can."
Yes, you can. That's right.
Yeah.
Take it out. Let her coast in. Did you have a Cobra, Carol?
Yeah, when the song went to number 1, because when I met Carol Shelby, who just passed away, as
Yes,
you know,
I know.
Yeah.
Carol said to me, "If you write a song about my car and it goes to number 1, I'll take you to Le Mans and give you one."
Oh, wow.
So I went to Le Mans, and the rest is history.
He gave you a cobra?
Yeah.
They're worth $1 million.
I know. I don't want to go into why I don't own it anymore, but
Oh, we got to hear that story. Get in
No,
the
no,
shower.
we're not gonna
Get in the
discuss
shower,
my
and then we'll get the
brother.
story
Oh,
in
my
just a moment.
God.
we're not discussing my brother.
Oh,